Hey guys, it's Bren. I'm back with another video. I know finally it's been a while. Was just taking a little break, got a lot going on, but I have some things to talk about now, so let's go ahead and get into it. This haul is kind of, I wouldn't really consider it fall. We're not quite at fall yet, and none of these things are really screaming fall. Maybe the Pumpkin Pecan Waffles body care, but the rest of it is really like either summery or just kind of like year-round type of stuff. So it's kind of more of a transitional release for Bath and Body Works. I think things that kind of go with a late summer vibe, but not really quite fall. So we'll talk about iced dragon fruit tea. We've got the 3-wick candle there. Also have pineapple pound cake 3-wick candle and the toasted coconut cupcake 3-wick candle. I've got Harvest Pomegranate. That one I picked up in a single wick candle, but it is available in a 3-wick. And then, as I mentioned, I did try out the new Pumpkin Pecan Waffles body care, so we'll talk about that too. And I've got all these other candles here because I'm comparing these candles to old ones and all of that. So let's start with the iced dragon fruit tea. Notes on this one are tropical dragon fruit, vibrant green tea lemonade, and sweet coconut milk. So, I do like this one. It's definitely more of a summer feel though because of the tropical vibe. It does smell like dragon fruit flavor. So I've had an actual real dragon fruit. I don't know if it like wasn't quite ripe enough or what, but like I really didn't like it that much. It didn't have like a lot of taste, but I do like dragon fruit flavored things. So I don't know. I've only had it once. Like I said, maybe it just wasn't ripe or something. I don't know, but this candle does remind me of other things that I've had that are dragon fruit, and I'm thinking of like the Sobe Life Water that's dragon fruit. The dog just jumped off the back of the couch. See how he smushes down my cushion? Anyway, but it definitely, even if you've never smelled tropical fruit, it has kind of that just that vibe of like beachy tropical drinks and whatnot, but it doesn't have, you know, the typical like pineapple, coconut, mango type of scent that you usually would get with like a tropical candle. So it's nice in that way. It reminds me a little bit of like red guava lava. Do y'all remember that one? It was years ago. I want to say it was like 2014 or 15 or something. But like more tropical. That was more of just like a fruity berry type scent, but the same kind of like fruitiness. It also reminded me a little bit of the exotic lychee candle, which I do have back there somewhere, but I didn't grab it. But that was in the Test Lab collection and only released at certain stores. It only reminded me of that in that it was giving just kind of a fruity tropical vibe, but not, it wasn't the exact same scent or anything, but they both just have like hard to explain. The best way I can explain it is, like I said, like definitely like tropical fruit, but without being the standard pineapple coconut type of thing. Now, tea. Well, I don't really get a tea note. I guess like green tea though, less potent. I think of it that way anyway than like black tea. You're definitely not getting like a strong black tea note. It's not tea the way that like London tea and lemon definitely smells like tea. Or that Southern sweet tea candle, which was just like purely a tea scent. This is more tea in the way that like vanilla peach tea was tea, which is to say, you can imagine that it's there, but if it wasn't in the name, you probably wouldn't get it. It's like barely there. And I probably would have liked it better if it was more present. I think that they're putting tea in a lot of the names and then not actually putting too much of a tea note in the candles, and people do want that tea note. Hopefully they'll make something like that again soon. But yeah, I mean, sure, we can call it tea, but again, if it wasn't in the name, I don't know that I would really be getting it. But I can definitely imagine that it's there. And then the last thing I'll say about this is there was something about it. I'm not saying it's the same scent or anything like that, but there's just something about this little bit of a tangy, almost sort of like dusty or musty smell that reminds me of this kind of dusty smell in watermelon lemonade. And again, there's no watermelon. It's not that, but watermelon lemonade has this like kind of weird, like, I don't want to say chemical because it's not that, but just kind of like a I don't know. It's always kind of had this little bit of a musty smell to me, and I kind of get that in this too. It's just something in it reminds me of that. All around, though, I do like it. I'm just picking it apart here, but I think it's really nice to have a tropical scent that's not mango, pineapple, or coconut. This one, I know it says coconut milk. I'm not getting any kind of coconut note in this, and so, maybe it adds a little bit of a creaminess, but not really. I think it's mostly just like a nice tropical, and yes, it does smell like dragon fruit flavored things, type of candle, and I found it to be a very medium throw, like maybe a 6 out of 10, 5 or 6 out of 10, and the burn has been just fine. One thing I did notice is that the lid is like thinner than a standard Bath & Body Works candle lid. Like, why is it thinner? Very weird. I'm glad that they're not, all like that now, but I hope they don't start doing that because, I guess it functions fine, but feels cheaper when it's thinner like this. I don't know what's going on with that. All right, let's move on. So next, what should we do next? I don't know. Let's talk about Harvest Pomegranate next because this is the order that I bought these things. So I don't actually have notes because I don't think that they put those on the single wicks. But anyway, wait, is it on the front? No, I'm not seeing notes anywhere on this. Oh, I swear they used to put them on the single wicks, but I guess not anymore. Anyway, Harvest Pomegranate. This one does not smell like the other pomegranate candle, which was just called Pomegranate. And it was in that collection that was called like the Essential Oils collection. And they had a bunch that just had one word names like almond, currant. Those were ones that I had. That one was a repackage of Wild Huckleberry, which was a failed test scent. And this is very different than that. This smells like frosted cranberry with an apple note added. That's exactly what I'm getting from this. And so frosted cranberry, I really just smelled it right next to it. And I thought, this is almost a repackage of frosted cranberry, but when I burned it, I was actually getting a lot of apple too. Kind of like a red apple type scent, very similar to their farm stand apple, but I will say a little better than that because farm stand apple always smelled a little chemically to me, kind of like hairspray or something, and it wasn't like that. It was just a nice, like sweet, like regular apple, but very straightforward. And so, yes, I felt like this was a mix between an apple scent and frosted cranberry. And that makes sense. That adds up to me because, cranberries are kind of like a tart berry, and so are pomegranates. And we all know by now that Bath & Body Works, no matter what the notes or the name says, they interchange different fruits, and sometimes they call apple pear and pear apple, and sometimes they say a candle has blueberry, and sometimes they say it has strawberry, even though it's the same candle. And they kind of mess with the notes and what they are, or the names and what they are, even though, in other candles they say that they're different things, if that makes sense. For example, one year the Happy Easter candle said that it had like vanilla and strawberry in it. And then the next year it was exactly the same candle, same name of the candle and everything, but it was vanilla and raspberry were the notes. And I remember being at the store and the sales associate, asking me if I liked it, and me saying like, yeah, but I already have last year's. I don't really need this one. And she was like, oh, but this one's different. Last year it was strawberry. This year it's raspberry. And I was looking at her like, maybe that works on like an average regular shopper, but I know better. It's the same candle, and really when you think about it, it's not strawberry or raspberry or pomegranate or cranberry or apple. They're not actually squeezing pomegranates into this candle, right? It's just like an artificial oil that someone developed that smells like a sour fruit. So, sometimes they call it cranberry and sometimes they call it pomegranate. They kind of smell the same in this way. But yes, this smells like frosted cranberry and apple together. It is nice. It's a little more fall-like. I think you could burn this into winter too, probably. If you like apple scents, then you'll probably like it. But I don't, like if it didn't have the name pomegranate, I don't know if I would think that. It's not like pomegranate lemonade. More like frosted cranberry to me, honestly. Which is a good scent, which is why there's like nothing wrong with this candle, but there's nothing like really terribly exciting about it either, and I don't think I'll be getting the 3-wick. I think I'll just stick with this one. Okay, Next, let's talk about pineapple pound cake. So pineapple pound cake right here, 3-wick candle. Notes are fresh pineapple, sweet vanilla pound cake, sprinkled with powdered sugar. I like this one. I like bakery scents. I like fruit scents. No surprise that I like this. So there's a few things we can compare this to. It's not really at all like pineapple pancakes, because pineapple pancakes has that kind of like greasy bakery scent and a little bit of like a maple scent, and so it's not like that. I would not really compare it at all to passion fruit vanilla cupcake either. Passion fruit vanilla cupcake was very similar to pineapple cream puff, and then pineapple cream puff has things in common with pineapple pound cake, but to leap from pineapple pound cake all the way to passion fruit vanilla cupcake, that's too far of a jump. You know, this one is in the middle of those two for different reasons, but it's really, to me, really no connection between the passion fruit vanilla cupcake and the pineapple pound cake. But we can kind of compare it to pineapple cream puff here. I think the closest comparison is going to be pineapple crumb cake. It is the most like this candle, but it is different. So even if you don't have any other Bath & Body Works candles, let's just first talk about what it smells like, regardless of comparing it to other things. When I first picked this up, I found it to be very authentic, and it reminded me exactly of when my grandmother used to make pineapple upside down cake. And I think I probably said that about pineapple crumb cake too, but this one, even more so, reminds me of it, because this one has a vanilla note, and it does a really good job of smelling like cake. It really does. I think that the pineapple, it doesn't smell like fresh pineapple, but it smells realistically like canned pineapple. And then the vanilla note is really nice. And there's definitely bakery there too. It smells like vanilla cake and canned pineapple. So pretty much a pineapple upside down cake. I really like it. So the differences though, pineapple crumb cake, very similar pineapple vibe, similar bakery vibe, but there's no vanilla. There's no like creaminess to it, and there's a little bit more of a spice to pineapple crumb cake. This says it's sugar streusel, crumb topping and buttery cake. It doesn't say anything about spice, but it just feels like a little bit more, little lightly spiced, like a little bit more spice. And definitely it's lacking the vanilla, but it's pineapple and bakery and a little bit of spice. Right? And then pineapple pound cake, no spice, but there's this nice creamy vanilla in there. Pineapple pound cake really doesn't have a bakery note at all, but it has a vanilla note and a creamy note. It doesn't even smell like vanilla so much as it smells just like very creamy, milky, creamy. It kind of, this one I always thought it smelled like what you would imagine this filling smells like, but not the pastry, like just pineapple and creaminess. So I guess, you could put pineapple pound cake in the middle of pineapple cream puff and pineapple crumb cake, in that it's less spicy than the crumb cake, but it has a little bit of a creamy vanilla note like the cream puff. But these two really aren't that similar. Like I said, pineapple pound cake is much closer to pineapple crumb cake. Some people are saying they like crumb cake better because it's stronger, but I actually found pineapple pound cake to be pretty strong for me. I would give it like a solid, at least a 7 out of 10, probably even like an 8. I'd probably give it an 8. Maybe I'd give pineapple crumb cake an 8, and I'd give pineapple pound cake a 7, but like they're both fine. I mean, this was burning and throwing through my whole house. I could smell it upstairs even when it was down here burning. I think I'd kind of like it better. Might pick up another one. Really, I like pineapple crumb cake, and I have like 2 1/4 left or something like that, but I think I would prefer to burn this one. So I might just get one more. I've been buying less because the prices are going up and there's no coupons. I really don't like that there's no coupons, but yeah, that's why I haven't had as many videos. I've just been buying less. I've kind of had less interest. Maybe I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. It's not to, it's somewhat because of prices, but I understand it. Everything, inflation is everywhere now and everything's going up in price. But I think it's more me because I have been around for so long and I've been collecting their candles for so long that things that seem new to other people aren't new to me. Like I'm like, oh yeah, this smells like the one from 2013 or whatever, whereas like for other people, some things are more new and exciting because they don't remember what the 2013 release was like or whatever. I think maybe I'm just getting to that point in my candle career where like it's hard to wow me anymore because I've smelled everything already. I don't know. I digress. Okay. Next, let's talk about toasted coconut cupcake. Notes here are sweet coconut, toasted almonds, and fluffy vanilla cake. I'm not really crazy about this one. It's very boring to me. There's nothing wrong with it. It's pretty light. If there's anything wrong with it, it's probably that. But it's also just like super similar to all these other candles. I've got all these coconut candles out here. All right, let's just start going through them. First, I have to remember always, because if I just review things based on comparing them to other things, people will be like, well, I've never smelled that though. And I get that. I need to do better about just first explaining what it smells like for someone as if they had never smelled any other Bath & Body Works candles. So, I don't know. Like I said, feels boring to me. The coconut is not too sweet. You get sweetness from the kind of vanilla note that's there, but the coconut itself feels kind of plain, sort of almost a little bit like what I would say is more of like a woody coconut than like a sweet, like coconut shavings type of coconut. It doesn't feel very warm. It's a little cooler. But then you get a little bit of a bakery feel. It's not, I don't really get much cake note though. Vanilla, yes, but it's a stretch to say bakery. Almond, you can imagine it's there. Just like you can imagine there's tea in the Dragonfruit tea candle. But I don't know that I would have picked that out if it wasn't in the name. But sure, whatever. But it just kind of smells like a coconutty vanilla, kind of boring, not really that special scent. And like I said, it's pretty light. I would only give this one maybe like a 4 out of 10 on strength and throw. I definitely couldn't smell it outside of this room. And a lot of the other coconut candles that I have from them are much stronger. So like, I'm not impressed. It's nothing like toasted coconut, because toasted coconut has a very predominant caramel note. And that is like all I get from this. It's very much coconut and caramel. Not like that. There's no caramel. It's not near as good as coconut cream pie, which I love. Coconut cream pie, the coconut is sweeter, but also there's just really like custardy, creamy, buttery note to it, and it's a lot warmer. This one's great. Coconut vanilla, another one. This is an old one here. Labels on the bottom because it's, pretty glass. Coconut vanilla is just coconut and vanilla, but it has this musky, perfumey note too that makes it like, even though coconut and vanilla are both very edible things, there's this perfume note in coconut vanilla that makes you like, you would never want to eat it. It does not smell edible. However, I think if you could imagine the candle without that musky perfume type of situation, and you can just isolate the coconut and vanilla notes, it actually might be kind of similar. It's almost a similar type of coconut to toasted coconut, but they're not really the same because that one's so perfumey. Of course, pumpkin coconut is the one that people were hoping that this was, because it hasn't been out in a while, and it's really hard for me to compare it to this because this is so low, so it kind of just smells burnt. It's the only one I have, but I do know, and I remember pumpkin coconut very much has like this little bit of a pumpkin spice thing going on. It smelled very much like if this was a pumpkin cake with coconut frosting, it smelled like the picture. And there's no spice going on in toasted coconut cupcake at all. I also have spiced coconut milk, which is similar to pumpkin coconut, but just like a little different. The coconut's like a little more like, has a little more zing to it. That one was more interesting than this. Honestly, this is just like really boring. Nothing wrong with it, I guess. It's kind of light, but it's just like a boring coconut cupcake candle. Closest match, almost forgot, and this is the closest match. Closest to coconut macaroon here. Coconut macaroon was toasted coconut, baked cookie, vanilla bean, touch of spice. They smell pretty similar, although coconut macaroon has this tang, this little bit of a tangy note, little bit of a bite to it. and that is lacking in toasted coconut cupcake. If you smell them right next to each other, they do smell very similar. And when I smelled toasted coconut cupcake in the store and I didn't have coconut macaroon next to me, I did think that they were probably a repackage. But then when I was able to smell them right side by side, I realized they are not a repackage, but they're probably only like 5 to 10% different. However, coconut macaroon has a little bit of a bite to it, a little bit more interesting, and it's stronger. This is like an 8 out of 10. Toasted coconut cupcake is just, again, it's just like this very boring version of coconut macaroon and all these other coconut bakery type scents. Not getting any more of that one. But, you know, like the Dragonfruit iced tea, love the pineapple pound cake. So, you know, there's some wins here. And then finally, let's talk about Pumpkin Pecan Waffles Body Care. I originally brought home the body cream. Never been too much of a fan of this candle just because it's so strong and so sweet that even though I do like strong candles and sweet scents, it was just too much for me. I don't really burn the candle. But the body care, addicting. Pretty addicting. You know, got the cream here and just kept using it, and then went back and used a reward to get the lotion too, because I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna need more of this, even though I have so much body care, I never need any more of it. But it just kind of smells a little bit like walking past like the food court at the mall when, you know, there's something like warm and gooey baking somewhere. There's not really like spice in it. Let's see, what are the notes on this? Maple syrup, golden waffles, pumpkin spice, brown sugar. Don't get any pumpkin spice and never have from the candle either. But the rest of the stuff, yeah, the maple syrup, I don't like maple. It smells more buttery to me. Buttery, sweet, like butter, brown sugar, and waffles. And I don't really get maple, and that's why I like it. But it's just like warm and cozy, and I don't know if I really want to smell out loud like this. I don't think I'll be getting the fine fragrance mist, but I do like putting it on my hands and then just being like, yeah, like I said, it's pretty addicting. So I do kind of like that, but the winner for me in this haul, pineapple pound cake candle. Liking that, and especially if you don't have a lot of pineapple crumb cake, you know, for me, it's a debate because they're so expensive now, the candles, and I have pineapple crumb cake, and it's really close, but I do like this one better, so I think maybe just one more is what I'll pick up. I don't know. Anyway, those are my thoughts on those things. And yeah, I have not like purposefully not been around or anything like that. Just have like a lot going on in my personal life. Things are kind of crazy right now. So haven't had too much time, but if I have things to film about, I will generally find a way to get a video out, but I've just kind of been buying less. Just, you know, somewhat to save money and somewhat because the prices are so high and there's no coupons, you know, inflation and all of that stuff. And again, I'm not blaming Bath & Body Works for that. I know that's just the way it is, but that's why I'm not buying as much. But like, you know, somewhat I think, again, because it takes a unique and special candle to really get me excited these days, because I just have so many that anything that they put out that's maybe new and exciting for some people, for me, probably chances are I have something similar back there. So, you know, I'm always on the lookout for new stuff though. And we have a lot of fall coming up now. That's pretty exciting. Everybody loves fall candles, and we'll see. I've got my eye on a few things that I know are going to be coming out. So hopefully I'll get another video out soon. But hopefully you enjoyed hearing me talk about these things. Stay tuned, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at Candles and Music. And yeah, I'll see you there. Bye.